Oh, ladies, it does not matter how old or how wise or how independent you are. If you are an empath, like myself, you will unfortunately be somewhat vulnerable to narcissists or folks with borderline personality disorder when it comes to relationships. Doesn't matter how great you have been at dodging bullets in relationships your whole life, how smart you are, the fact that you can do it all yourself. When you're an empath, you're exquisite. You see things, you understand the complexities of people, the things that can cause them to be the way that they are. And you are the one person that they absolutely need in order to fuel their goals. And you are probably not susceptible to anything else. But when you're an empath, you've probably got some level of trauma in your life that made you that way and made you hypersensitive and understanding. And it doesn't mean you're a pushover by any means. You're a strong, independent woman who does not need a man, but wants one every once in a while, when they come along packaged in such a way. So I've been through it. I'm going through it. And I wish I could say I haven't done it more than once with the same person. I've done it 3 times with the same person. But it's enough now that I understand it as I go back and replay all the things. I have gone through the proper grief process that I've needed to on what I thought this person was, what I thought I lost. But I have seen very recently all the stages of narcissism or potentially borderline personality disorder. I am not a doctor or an expert. I am just a super smart woman with a big heart that does not make relationship mistakes, but does make this one repeatedly because I am susceptible to this particular type of individual. And what it is often is that they are attracted to you because you are so strong and you've got positive vibes and you reflect something they want to see in themselves or something they want others to perceive of them because of their attachment to you. And you're there to help build their ego, make them feel good, and give them sort of this emotional fix that they need at that point in their lives, right? Like it's part of a loop. They do this all the time. It's not just with you. Like if you go, they're repeating the cycle with someone else, but you're there to be a positive reflection on them and to feed them with emotional validation for as long as possible. The problem is that eventually, because you see through the facade and you actually love them despite some of the shortcomings and flaws that you're seeing, they know that. And that is dangerous to them. And that when you see them for all of it, and you maybe have questions or you want to talk or you have needs that you start to express, that is when you become dangerous. And that is when they cut you off or gaslight you, ghost you. And they're not processing a loss. They're not going through this thing where they're like, oh, I really cared so much about her, but I just don't have the capacity and I don't want to hurt her. So it's easier for me to disappoint her now or to pull away and let her live her own life because I love her so much. Like it's not that, even though they will potentially tell you that. It is that you are onto them. And so they want to get away from you as soon as possible so that they can go move on to their next fix. And it is not you. It is not your fault. You are exquisite. You are a treasure. You are amazing as you are. And that is what these people are attracted to. And you are able to see through all the people that are not this psychologically challenged. So you don't even bother with them, but this one gets in. This one gets in because you feel it. You probably have some kind of a trauma bond. Mine has definitely been a trauma bond over some childhood wounds that we both share. And my sense of being empathetic despite sort of these long-term patterns that he chooses to repeat over and over and over again. I'm always sort of his like ride or die backup plan whenever he screwed something else up. But you will figure it out. You will see the patterns. You may even accidentally stumble onto exactly what he is doing that he couldn't be honest with you about. And so he doesn't understand the emotions of hurting you or betraying or breaking your trust, or that you're supposed to communicate honestly, that you can handle the truth, you can handle anything. He doesn't respond to any of that. He only responds anger, right? And it's awful. I don't want to be an angry person. I'm very rarely an angry person, but the only thing that gets their attention is anger. And you can't stop with that. So you may need to have an angry reaction within yourself, at him, whatever it may be. Maybe you need to write it in a journal, whatever it may be. No physical harm, nothing like that, but just process it, let it happen, and let him know. Because everything else is something he thinks he can sneak back into when he decides it feels safe and ready. The anger gets his attention because it's the only emotion he actually has and receives. And when you get through that part, you're going to get into some other things, like other things he recognizes, which are coldness, indifference, detachment. All of those are things that he recognizes. All of those things disrupt his nervous system because those are the things that he relates to. So, and I'm not saying you should try to get this person back. This is my way of trying to get them out of your system, get yourself to the point that you can get them out of your system, and get to the point where you can actually see this as a pattern that is not about you, it's about them. And it's because you are such a caring, amazing person. That's what they do. They feed on you. You are a battery and a tool for something that is very, very unhealthy within them that they absolutely do not want to fix. But they will certainly ride your light and your hope and your confidence in them and all the support that you give them, while all the while you feel your anxiety is kicking in. You're getting this weird gut feeling, these sixth senses, these moments where you're feeling like you're holding back, you're walking on eggshells, you're feeling like your own personality, the very things that attracted him to you, are starting to get erased or stuffed down inside. And you feel like it's because you need to do that because you're too hard on people, and perhaps you need to be the safe space for this person. So you have to change yourself to adapt to what they need. I don't blame you for any of it. You're the smartest woman on earth and you still probably do it. So I'm sharing this just as a person who prides herself on making it through life without making poor relationship decisions, bad marriage decisions. I haven't done any of it. I take care of myself. I support myself, and I don't get into a relationship that I don't want to get into, right? Which means I hardly get into them because there's not a lot out there that gets my interest. But this one certainly has, over the course of decades, has come back and forth. And I have let him in, and I have thought it was a fated thing, that perhaps this is the reason I've stayed available. This is the person that I am supposed to be with, and I am supposed to just be flexible and help them through these dark times. But that's not what they want. They just want that for a periodic thing. And it's about control. They want to control you. They want to see that they can get in and that they can convince you, that they can get you to love them. It is a control and a breaking down of who you are. And they thrive off of it like a virus. So please don't beat yourselves up if you're going through something like this. I think it is just something that happens. Know that you're susceptible to it potentially, that it does not make you wrong. It does not make anything that you thought or felt in your heart wrong. But the best thing I think to do, and what I've been doing, is everything that I thought was real or everything that I ever thought was a good memory, I'm reprocessing it now through this sense of this control, this trauma, all of those things. And I'm realizing that they were all manipulations. And so those weren't real. Those were tricks. Those were tools that were used to control me and to break me down and to feel that dominance over someone like me, while getting all of, like I said, all of the light, the joy, the excitement, the everything out of me that he could. It is